Hey guys, it's Brent, and I'm back with another The Panel Has Spoken track versus track video. And today, I have a first time guest on the show with me. This is Glen from Tales of a KISS Geek on YouTube. And Glen, I'm just going to give you an opportunity since you're new to the channel and this first time everybody's seeing you. Just talk a little bit about yourself and talk a little bit about your channel, Tales from KISS Geek. How long you been doing it? What kind of content do you do? And then we'll tell the people to go subscribe and hit that notification bell. So, talk a little bit about yourself for a minute.
Well, I come from Dublin, Ireland. I'm 24 years old, so I'm in the Tommy and Eric camp. Now, not the camp that think that that's all that matters and the past shouldn't be celebrated. But my idea was, during this whole pandemic, why don't we celebrate KISS, celebrate the stories about KISS? If I get something new in the mail, why not open it up, show you guys, and just really kind of just bask in the excitement together. So that's kind of how the idea for my channel came about. But not only that, if you search, there's not a lot of KISS fans in the kind of Irish you're not going to find many of us that are celebrating KISS. So why not wave the flag and just do that? So Sonic Boom is my #1 KISS album. So that's going to be that's something that you could argue over. And obviously people have their Rock and Roll Overs and Dress to Kill, which are my second and third. I love those as well. But there's the sentiment of Tommy and Eric being in the band. That's my KISS. So that's the kind of standpoint that I come from. But I love all of it. The 80s, the 90s, 70s. Give me any KISS and it's good for me.
So let's talk about these albums and then we'll get into the track versus track on them. Just without getting too much into your picks and giving your picks away, let's talk about what you think. What's your thoughts on this album right here? This Bob Ezrin produced, the third time's the charm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bob Ezrin produced Kiss Revenge with the lineup of Gene, Paul, Eric, and Bruce. What's your overall thoughts on this album? When did you first hear it? What did you think of it when you heard it? What do you think of it now?
Okay, well, I got into KISS in 2007. And over here, their two big singles are Crazy Nights and God Gave Rock and Roll to You. They don't know anything else over here. So that's it. That's KISS. So my initial introduction to this was God Gave Rock and Roll to You. I knew if I hear the song in my head, I know where they are in the music video right now. So that was my introduction. I started going back into the back catalog, listening to all the albums, Revenge being one of them. And it's so sentimental for me from being, 11, 12 years old, listening to it. And then a few years later, are we talking about Monster now, or will I stick on Revenge?
You go ahead and talk about Monster. The album, the last studio album to this point, and with the current lineup.
Well, a few years later, then I was waiting for Sonic Boom to come out, and then Monster to come out. And actually, I remember being in school, waiting for school to finish, so I could go to the shop and buy the new KISS album, Monster. So for that reason, that's as well very sentimental to me. So I'm trying to be vague, but I love both of these albums.
Okay. My thoughts on these two albums. This album, I wasn't looking for this album to come out. I knew that they were working on Sonic Boom, and I bought Sonic Boom, and I was actually I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did. Okay. Part of me almost didn't want to like it, but I liked it. If you take, and I've said what I've said about both these albums. For me, being an old school KISS fan, and I encourage other old school KISS fans.
Say that 50 times fast.
Yeah, you have to listen to these. Us old schoolers have to listen to these albums with our ears and not our eyes. And so if I just forget this album cover, forget this back album cover, and just listen to the music, Do I like it? Do I not like it? I'm not going to talk about that until we get more into but if you've seen some of my past videos, you know my thoughts on this album. This album here, I was very much looking forward to. I remember seeing the video for Unholy and thinking, holy shikes. This album is going to kick ass. And
Eric Singer just killing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and having a lead off single with Gene. I mean, and this lineup, man. I mean, come on, they're just so badass. They were just like, to me, they were legit, man. They were legit. They were a legit rock and roll band. And then album after this, Carnival of Souls. I was looking forward to it too, but Revenge. I love Revenge. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it that I love Revenge. So we'll and if you are a fan of my channel, that is no secret to you that I love this Revenge album. I love this lineup. This album gets constant play from me. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about the panel. We had a big one for this one. 56 people. And Glenn, if you need a bathroom break, you probably going to have the time to do it right about right here. All right, so I'm going to talk about you guys. We had me and Glenn starting off, and then Aladio, John B. Good, Bill Sharp, Mr. 1-2, Chaim Witz, Gene, Raven FM, John O, Warren Glover, Jesse Ray, Sublime 130, Mick Cassimi, Jay Lee, Christopher Howell, Tony P., AJ Zetro, 1975, Paul Bertolino, Rocker L, 0270, Logan Sievert, Daryl Helliwell, Ludwig Alvin, Michael Dinker, Vanessa, Coogee 0877, y'all killing me with these names, Tom Tobin, Brian Foster, Pepe's Task Force, Cara Kanan, Cainan, Kanan, Matt Ucci, Super Kiss 1300, Gregory Pegg, Joel Pegg, Les Wadley, Eddie Thompson, James Dean, Hard Rock Reverie, Joe Nail, Kiss Fan 1973, Darren, MD Smith Comics, Bob O, Vincent Marone, Metal Mike, Insufficient Data, Dark Light, Raw Barber, AJ, Toy Bonnie Guide, Jeff Wyatt, Ad Wills, Christian Peterson, Sharon Cox, Jeremy Kimona, Emily Graziano, and Future Squash. That is the panel. And we're going to go ahead and get into our predictions. First of all, which album do you predict is going to win?
Okay. So I predicted that Revenge was going to win this one. I thought it was going to be a little bit close, but I think Revenge is overall going to win it.
All right. I predicted Revenge to win as well. So we'll find out. The first track is Unholy up against Hell or Hallelujah. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that today. Hell or Hallelujah up against Unholy. What's your prediction?
My prediction is Unholy. I think as much as Hell or Hallelujah is the standout for a lot of the people on the panel, I think will be a standout on Monster, but I think Unholy is going to run away with flying colors. Okay.
I think the same as well. I thought Unholy was going to win this one. And coming in as the loser of track number 1 with 5 points. So runaway it is. 5 points goes to Hell or Hallelujah. 51 points goes to Unholy. My personal pick for the number 1 for the track number 1 is Unholy. Like I said earlier, man, I can still see that video in my head, and they just look so badass in that video. And Gene's still pulling the whole demon stuff. And a song like Unholy, I've said it in the past. It is a demon song. It's a song about the devil, and so it is a demon song. So kick-ass song. So it's my pick.
What's my pick? My pick is Hell or Hallelujah. And I say that because I don't know how much I can go with this, but I'm more of a Paul Stanley song fan than a Gene Simmons song. I love the Plaster Casters and Almost Human and all of that, but when they're a little bit too, I'm an Animal and God of Thunder, I tend to skip those demon-esque songs, and that's just my take. I do love the Paul Stanley, It's All Right and Room Service kind of Paul more than the demon Gene Simmons. So my take is Hell or Hallelujah.
All right. That means the running total for Revenge 1 and Monster 0. So the next matchup for track 2 is Take It Off versus Wall of Sound. What's your prediction?
I predict Wall of Sound because I think that as much as Take It Off is a great song, I think for a lot of people it doesn't hold up like it did, and I think it has aged. There is that sense of, sure, it's 91 or 92, but I think it does have a kind of 80s sound, and for me that doesn't bother me, but I think it will make people choose Wall of Sound.
Okay. I've predicted Take It Off. So so you predicted Wall of Sound. I predicted Take It Off. Coming in second with 17 points, panel chose Wall of Sound. So for track number 2 with 39 votes, the panel chose Take It Off. So that takes Revenge up to my personal pick, Take It Off. I like Wall of Sound. Wall of Sound, this was actually a hard pick for me because I really do like Wall of Sound. It's one of my favorite songs. And I didn't mention about Hell or Hallelujah either. I love these first 2 songs, man. I think that Monster starts off with that 1-2 punch that Revenge didn't start off. Revenge started off with a punch that if it didn't knock you out, you're going to get a as the second hit, you know. But Monster, what I can say for it, like it or not, Hell or Hallelujah and Wall of Sound, those are 2 hard hitting songs. Gene or Paul and Gene respectively. But there's just so much more I like about Take It Off. And me, I think it's my age because I did grow up in the 80s and I grew up in the 90s. When this album came out, I was 22, 23. I was in the local titty bar. You know, I was living the life that Paul was singing about. And so just not only that, having that connection to it, but I love the way this song starts out, the way it just starts off with those suspended guitar notes and just that simple rhythm that Eric's playing. And then it has that build up and then it kicks in and Paul has that scream at the beginning of it. And that riff that stops and starts, that da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, and Gene doing that boom, the way he runs his fingers down the bass. It's just, this song fires on all cylinders for me. But it was a tough battle between these 2 songs. But in the end, Take It Off won for me.
Well, I'm kind of with you on what you said about I love Wall of Sound. I think it's one of the highlights on the album. And it really just takes you back to that kind of almost love going rock and roll over era Gene. But it's just not as strong and powerful and hard hitting as Take It Off is. And being honest, I don't find Take It Off to sound dated because, quite frankly, I wasn't around in the era that it was new at the time. So for me, it does kind of sound like it still holds up today. And it's just a hard hitting Paul Stanley song. So it's Take It Off for me.
Awesome. So like I said earlier, that takes Monster up 2-0 for now. So the next track is track 3, and that is Tough Love off of Revenge versus Freak off of Monster. What's your prediction?
My prediction is I think they're going to pick Freak because I think that Tough Love is one of those songs that I think it's underrated. I think that a lot of people would say that it's a deep track and it doesn't really stand out. But I hear a lot of people talking great stuff about Freak if they like Monster. So I'm going to say that they're going to go with Freak.
Okay. I predicted Freak as well. And basically for the same reason is that Tough Love is one of those songs off of Revenge that just kind of blends into the background.
Yeah.
Truth be known, I have been, without giving away too much, I've been known to skip it myself from time to time. But Freak is one of those songs that I've just always heard in the KISS community that KISS fans really like. So, so having said that, the song that came in second, this was close. This was one of the closest battles on the albums. Coming in second with 26 points is Tough Love. Winning the track number 3 at 30 points, 4 points separation, is Freak. Now, having said what I just said about how I sometimes skip Tough Love, my pick for this song is Tough Love because I do not like Freak at all. This was kind of like a less of the two evils for me. I'm not really big fans of either one of these songs, but I would rather listen to Tough Love than listen to Freak. Freak just doesn't sound like a KISS song to me. And I know that's very hypocritical to say because neither does Just a Boy off of The Elder sound like a KISS song, and I love that song. But that's me. I have my opinion. I have my right to that. But you know, I don't get upset if somebody likes Freak, but it's just not for me. And I think also knowing the background of the song, that Paul originally was writing the song for Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was possibly going to perform on the album with Paul for Freak. I don't know. I think maybe he should just let her have it. But that's just my opinion. Tough Love for me. What about for you?
I love Freak as well. Well, you know what? I don't. Oh no, you said you don't like Freak, so I should start that over.
Okay, go ahead.
So for number 3, I like Freak. It's not. I used to like it more than I do now, and I think there's a lot of songs on Monster that do really outweigh it. It doesn't really stand out for me, so I had to go with Tough Love as well. I went for the same, Tough Love.
All right, cool. All right, so that brings us up to track number 4. This is Spit versus Back to the Stone Age. What's your prediction?
My prediction is I think they're going to go with Back to the Stone Age because I think, as much as I love the cheesiness of KISS, I think it does kind of grind on a lot of people, and I think it will. I don't think this is one of the songs that I think really doesn't age well nowadays. It's almost Spinal Tappy. So I would say that they're going to go with Back to the Stone Age.
Okay. All right. I predicted Spit. The loser with 19 points was Back to the Stone Age. Spit, 37 points, is the winner.
Wow.
My pick is Spit. Back to the Stone Age is good. It's one of those songs that it almost becomes. I like the idea of Back to the Stone Age, and I like the verses of Back to the Stone Age better than I like the chorus of Back to Stone Age. I like in the beginning, I like when Gene starts off that biblical. In the beginning, there was darkness and there was light. And, you know, I love the verse to that song. But it sounds like a Monster song. It sounds like very homogenized. It sounds like a lot of the other songs on the album to me. And that can be good and that can be bad. But now Spit is one of those songs. I have loved Spit ever since the very first time I heard it. Spit is just one of those songs that when it comes on and I'm in my car, my windows go down, my radio gets turned up. I don't care who's listening to it. I don't care who's pointing at me, who's laughing, because that song is just so much fun. It just brings me so much joy to say some of the stuff. They lock the windows, close the doors, and she gets down on all fours. I mean, it's just so fun. The song is so fun. And so I just love it. It's one of my, it's probably, like you said, maybe one of those songs you don't like as much, but it is, to me, I love Spit. So that's my pick.
I like all the points you made. This was an extremely hard pick for me. This was one of those picks that you could almost just flip a coin and let the coin decide. Because I love Back to the Stone Age. I think this is one of the songs that they almost got back to the roots of that kind of, like when they said we're gonna do Love Gun again, we're gonna do Rock and Roll Over, and everybody, yeah. But when they kind of take off the pressure of all of that and just go in and make a rock album, they do put out their best material, I feel, and especially Gene. I think he buckles down and puts out some great stuff. So Back to the Stone Age almost got it for me because I like it, but I had to go with Spit because I love Spit. It's just I could have flipped a coin, but I love Spit.
Awesome. I'm glad you went in that direction. I would have still liked you if you had not went in that direction, but I like it when we agree. I like that, but it's okay when we don't. That's cool too. All right. So that brings that is 3 for Revenge, 1 for Monster. So that brings us up to track number 5. This is God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2 versus Shout Mercy.
So my prediction is, I think this is actually going to be one of those where it's just you know what? I'll be surprised if anybody picks the losing one. Is how I'll put it. I'm going to say everybody and their daughters picked God Gave Rock and Roll to You because Shout Mercy is kind of unmemorable.
Mm-hmm. All right. I predicted God Gave Rock and Roll to You as well. It's classic. It's one of those songs, and even though I know he didn't play on the song, I love seeing Eric in the video. It kind of tears me up every time I see, knowing what was going on with Eric at that time and what was going on with the band, and he just wanted to be in one last video, wanted one last hurrah, and they honored that, gave it to him. That video is an amazing video. Coming in at number 2, it did get 17 votes. The number 2 song got 17 votes. Shout Mercy had 17 votes. God Gave Rock and Roll to You is the winner with 39 votes. And my pick, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, for all the reasons I just said. It's an epic song. You can tell Bob Ezrin was involved. This is the song that brought Ezrin and KISS back together. KISS had a real sour taste in their mouth towards Ezrin, left over after The Elder. This is a song that they originally got together and did for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The second movie,
I think it was Bogus Journey.
Bogus Journey. That's right, Bogus Journey. And they decided to work together again, and they stuck this song on the album. So I think God Gave Rock and Roll to You is great. It's to me, God Gave Rock and Roll to You accomplishes, to me, inside of me, God Gave Rock and Roll to You accomplishes what KISS tries to accomplish with Rock and Roll All Night, Party Every Day, Say Yeah. These songs, these uniting, hey, let's unite. We're one big rock and roll family. We're one big KISS family, big, huge group hug. God Gave Rock and Roll to You, to me, does that. And it's a great song. So it's my pick.
Well, I love Shout Mercy. It's not a song that I'm ever going to go to. Like, I'll never go, I would love to hear Shout Mercy right now. But if I played Monster from start to finish, I would be completely into it. Now, having said that, God Gave Rock and Roll to You is the song that got me into KISS. And after a period of time, I'm sure you're the same, it does get old and it does kind of get overplayed. So it did definitely get overplayed for me. But how I remember God Gave Rock and Roll to You now is I've been privileged the last few months, about a year now, of having back and forth video calls with Bruce Kulick. And he's been showing me how to play such a song on guitar and just talking about different eras of the band. And I've been geeking out. And the very first call I had with him, he picked up his guitar and he just went, oh, well, that kind of reminds me of how I did the breakdown of God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And he played it right over video call to me, and I was watching it going, my KISS fandom has just come full circle. So I can't put that song on a higher pedestal. Absolutely, I pick God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Awesome. That's awesome story. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So that brings us up to, that is four for that's four for Monster, or four for Revenge and one for Monster. So that
Wow.
takes us to track number 6, which is Domino versus Long Way Down.
Yeah, I predicted Domino. I don't think there's Long Way Down's a great song. It's actually one of my top songs on Monster, but I think that Domino's a great song. I don't care if your opinion is that you don't like Domino, you're wrong. Domino is an awesome song. They're gonna pick Domino by far.
All right, my prediction was Domino as well. Coming in at number 2 with 15 points, panel chose Long Way Down. The winner of track 6, Domino, with 41 points. My personal pick, Domino. It's a great video. It's a great song. From the very beginning, that spoken, let me tell you a story. I love that kind of Gene. Gene, to me, on Revenge, I mean, we're far enough in it now to where I can probably say it, but Gene on Revenge to me is firing on every cylinder he's got. He just continues to make good song after good song after good song on Revenge. Right now, up to this point, and maybe all the way through, we'll find out. But right now, up to this point, Gene's done no wrong to me on Revenge. So, Domino's my pick.
Domino's my pick as well.
All right. So that brings us to that's 5-1. So track number 7, Heart of Chrome versus Eat Your Heart Out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think we can be confused here. I think they're gonna pick Heart of Chrome, because I think a lot of people get hung up on the intro for Eat Your Heart Out, which I love Eat Your Heart Out, but I think they're gonna go with Heart of Chrome. It's just a hard hitting song.
All right, I think Heart of Chrome too. What the panel chose, they chose as number 2 for track number 7. The loser with 8 points is Eat Your Heart Out. The winner, Heart of Chrome, 48 points. My personal pick, Heart of Chrome. I am one of those people that get hung up on Eat Your Heart Out because of the intro. Once it gets past the intro and they start, if they would have just left that intro off to me, I don't think I would have liked it as less as I do. But once it gets started, it's not a bad song. And the acapella vocals that they're basically doing the chorus, once it's in the song, it sounds good. But to me, just doing that whole beginning thing, acapella, it's just kind of cheesy. And that song really didn't need cheese added to it. So I think they should have just started it off the way they started. But now when it comes Heart of Chrome is just it's one of those songs that it's like, finally Paul got some balls and he's pissed off about something. And and so I just think it's great because he's more Gene. Paul is more Gene on Heart of Chrome than he has been in a while, in my opinion. So I love Heart of Chrome. I love the riff to Heart of Chrome. It's just got that. It's just that thing that you see on this album and on the next album with Carnival of Souls. It's just that extra songmanship and musicianship that you see that Bruce and Eric together bring to the band and kind of put up under Paul and Gene and make Paul and Gene better because of how good they are. And you really see it on songs like Heart of Chrome. But to me, Heart of Chrome is my pick.
For me, Heart of Chrome was my pick as well. I think it's, you know what, this was another kind of coin toss, and maybe that's a surprise for yourself, but I love Eat Your Heart Out. That's one of the songs that I look forward to when I hear Monster. And I love that intro for Eat Your Heart Out. There's just something, it's kind of like I close my eyes and I can see them in a kind of Beatles-esque gathered around the microphone, and it's them just kind of having fun, and it's not necessarily a 1, 2, 3, 4 and play the song. It's kind of more, there's a looser feeling to it. Like Back to the Stone Age, just going back a little bit, you can definitely hear they're playing to a click track, and they are. So I think Eat Your Heart Out has that kind of, this is a rock and roll band, let's have some fun. So I do like the cheese element in that sense, but I can see what you mean. My pick absolutely is Heart of Chrome, because there's no comparison.
All right. So that takes us to that is 6-1 now. So that brings us to track number 8, and it is Thou Shalt Not versus The Devil Is Me, 2 Gene tracks.
I predict that The Devil Is Me is going to get it, and I think that it kind of, I reckon this is going to be one that's very close, because right, they're 2 Gene songs, and they're also kind of 2 Demon Gene songs. So you do have the kind of, he's against religion, he's against all that kind of thing in Thou Shalt Not. I do feel, I think they're going to pick The Devil Is Me just purely because he's physically the demon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I predicted Thou Shalt Not on this one because I think that I just think that it was a more liked song, and this was kind of a toss up. I didn't know which way this one was going to go, honestly, between the 2. When it comes to 2 Gene songs and 2 demon-esque type songs, like you mentioned, I wasn't real sure which way this one was going to go. The panel chose for the second track, the runner-up, with 10 points. They chose The Devil Is Me. With 46 points, they chose Thou Shalt Not. My personal pick on this one, Thou Shalt Not, is Thou Shalt Not. And it's funny. This song is probably, to me, if somebody said, hey, what's your favorite Gene song off of Revenge? It's Monster. It's Unholy, right? And I'd be like, no, it's not. I think Thou Shalt Not is, as a matter of fact, Unholy is not my second favorite Gene song off this album. It's actually my third. There's 2 songs that I like better than Unholy, and Unholy kicks ass in my opinion. Thou Shalt Not is probably my favorite Gene song off this album, followed up by a one that we're yet to talk about that's very close. Just, I love the anger that Gene has in his voice and the energy when he just starts off, I live most of my life in New York City, and that da-na-na-na, the riff that's under that. And then when he says, he's got just all his Gene stylings, to kiss the ring on his hand, that just the way he says that goes back to 70s to me. Gene saying things the way he does that. And it's got one of my favorite, the way Gene says it is one of my most memorable performances for Gene. When he says something, it comes into the second verse where he says, well, the son of a bitch must be crazy telling me I'm going to go down. The way he delivers that, it's gold. It is platinum. And so Thou Shalt Not is just so freaking angry to me. And you're right. It is a demon song. It's like, don't tell me how to believe. How dare you tell me how to believe? Believe the way you want to believe, but don't force it on me. Don't make me eat your garbage. So, and I think that's a good positive message. We all have the right to believe what we want to believe. So yeah, Thou Shalt Not to me is just, I like The Devil Is Me. Don't get me wrong. The Devil Is Me, it's just the way he says it. The Devil Is Me is Family Jewels, Gene. Because it's like, how he goes, the devil is me. And it's like, I see the Family Jewels, and that's why it's great to be me. And
all those
so,
records behind him.
yeah, all those records behind him and everything. So it's just like the devil is me. It's like it's Family Jewels Gene, which I like Family Jewels Gene also. So I like both these songs, but Thou Shalt Not, man, it's my favorite song off of Revenge. So it has to be the winner between these two for me.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of The Devil Is Me. It's kind of one of those songs that I want to like it. I like his vocal delivery. I think we can both agree his vocal delivery in The Devil Is Me is pretty cool. But I just don't like there's a certain time signature to it that I just can't really get into. I can't get a feel for it. So it doesn't really resonate with me is kind of where I'm going with it. Thou Shalt Not is one of those songs that just puts a smile on your face. I was like exactly what you're saying. Don't tell me what to believe. I was 12 years old learning about religion in school and this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And then I'm listening to Revenge on the way to school and going back going, no, hang on. My parents think I'm crazy. They hate the things I do. Okay, Flaming Youth, we have that kind of side.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Thou Shalt Not when Gene is talking about the son of a bitch must be crazy, telling me I'm going to go down. You know, like it's just let me live my life. You know, so that really resonates with me. I love Thou Shalt Not. That's my personal pick.
Awesome. All right, so that brings it to 7-1 for Revenge. So that brings us up to track number 9. Every Time I Look at You versus Out of This World or Out of This World.
Out of This World, yeah.
Out of This World, yeah.
I think it's gonna be Out of This World. When you hear people talking about Monster, if they like it or they don't like it, I think they always tend to say that's a good song. So I do think it's going to get the pick. That's my prediction.
Okay, I predicted Every Time I Look at You, just because basically, even though it doesn't really fit the character of Revenge. Once again, I don't think Paul and Gene. Sometimes I wonder if they were even in the same book. But Paul, he's putting a very much hot in the shade, crazy nights song on an album that Gene's trying to be pissed off. And Paul really only shows a glimpse of that in this album once or twice, maybe, with Tough Love and Heart of Chrome. But I still think that Every Time I Look at You has enough tenure with the fans that it's going to be the pick between the two. So, but this actually was close. This was closer than you would think. Out of This World came in at number 2 with 24 points. 6 points above it Every Time I Look at You with 32. So that was the second closest. That was the third closest. The second closest is coming up. That's the third closest on the thing. That brings Revenge up 9. My personal pick for this is Every Time I Look at You. And it's for me, it doesn't really fit the context of the album. And Paul does get a little over embellished at the very end when he pulls the whole, because every time I look at you, and even in the video, he's like, because every time I look at you. And I'm just like, oh, okay, take the video out, take this song off of this album, take away Paul getting a little too embellished at the end. Every Time I Look at You is a great love song. It's got the strings in it, which I really enjoy. And Paul's got a pretty good vocal delivery. He does at times, even from the very beginning, the whole try to say I'm sorry. Didn't mean to break your heart. I mean, he cut from the very beginning, he's putting it out there a little bit too much. But Every Time I Look at You has just the best hook. I mean, it's got that, when it breaks into that chorus, no matter what I'm going through, it's easy to see. It's just, it gives me chills. It's a great song. But for me, it's Every Time I Look at You.
I have to fly the Monster flag right now. Out of This World, or Out of This World is Out of This World. I love the song. I think Tommy just delivers some great vocals. Lots of people, maybe you included, kind of have the perception that he does the kind of Ace voice, which personally I actually don't hear. Maybe I don't have ears, I don't know, but I don't hear that he does that whole kind of thing. I love Tommy's Black and Blue stuff, and I think that when you hear his vocals on those albums, he still has the same voice. So I think they're kind of reading too much into it. That's just my take. But I love Out of This World. It's just a killer song. I love Every Time I Look at You as well, but Out of This World just runs with flying colors for me.
This is not a Brant's rant. I'm not going to put the thing up because this is not a Brant's rant.
Put the thing up. Put the thing up.
Oh, okay, I'll put it up. But people say, well, Tommy and Eric have been members of KISS longer than Peter and Ace. Wrong. They're not members of KISS. They're employees of Gene and Paul. They're employees of the KISS organization. They're not official members. They're employees. And if somebody can prove me wrong in that, I would love for you to prove me wrong. Because I don't think that anybody since Eric Carr has actually been a member of KISS. I don't think Bruce was. I don't think Eric Singer was. I don't think Mark St. John was. I know Vinnie Vincent wasn't because Vinnie never signed his contract. So I don't think that anybody after Eric Carr has ever been a member of KISS, that they have been an employee of KISS.
That's a really good point. I never even thought of it that.
They have been a contracted musician to be part of the KISS organization, but they're not members. The last official member of KISS was Eric Carr. He was a member. So anyway, ran over. All right, so that brings us
You've been watching Brant's Rants. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, Brant's Rants. Like, subscribe. If you want more of this stuff, you want to hear an old man rant about KISS, go ahead. All right, so that's 8-1, and that brings us up. Every time I look at you as the winner, that brings us up to number 10, which is Paralyzed, up against All for the Love of Rock and Roll.
So hearing about all the crap that the Tommy and Eric songs get sometimes on KISS albums, I think All for the Love of Rock and Roll is one of those songs that just people either kind of like it or they just despise it. And I especially hear a lot of they hate the yeah at the start of All for the Love of Rock and Roll. So there's absolutely no chance. I will buy you a beer right now if that gets the winning vote. I'm going to predict Paralyzed absolutely wins this.
All right. My prediction is Paralyzed as well. And coming in at number 2 with 17 points is All for the Love of Rock and Roll. The winner with 39 points, Paralyzed. My personal pick, Paralyzed. Paralyzed is my second favorite song off of Revenge. Paralyzed just starts off kicking you in the balls just from the very beginning. That just the way it comes in is just amazing. I like the little shuffle thing in the middle of it, and Gene's like, "I'm so bad," just kind of whatever he says. I think he says it almost. I always thought it says, "I'm so bad, Jesus couldn't save me." And that just may be my matrixing hearing, whatever. Paralyzed, just to me, it's just. I love everything about it, man. Everything about Paralyzed. Paralyzed is revenge. That Revenge, Bob Ezrin sound to me. And All for the Love of Rock and Roll. Everything you said, me. I hate the yeah, and I hate them trying to get Eric to sound like he's singing a Peter song off of Rock and Roll Over. Found it passing me by, and I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I actually would rather listen to Out of This World than. I'm not a big fan of either one of Eric's songs off of Sonic Boom or, and it's nothing against him personally. It's nothing against him personally. Yeah, All for the Glory. I don't like All for the Glory. All for the Glory
Ooh.
is a skip every single time for me. It's a skip. That da na 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 skip. I don't like it. But if people do, that's great. And if you like All for the Love of Rock and Roll, that's great, because I'm glad it brings somebody some joy and happiness. It just doesn't bring it to me. And like I said, it's nothing against Eric personally, because I think he's got a great voice. He's a great singer. I just wish they would let Eric do, and maybe that is Eric doing his thing. Maybe that's what Eric sounds like, and I just don't really like what Eric does. But I think he's a phenomenal drummer and he's a good singer. But to me, man, it had no choice. This could have been almost any other song on Monster, and it would have not beat Paralyzed for me.
Well, as much as I love Paralyzed, I would never really putting these songs side by side. I tend to put on the vinyl player or play an MP3 or whatever it is and just play along with my Les Paul. And I'm just playing guitar along to the songs, which is actually, if you play guitar, it's quite difficult to do on Revenge, because if you're in standard tuning, Revenge is like some songs are in D, some songs are in standard, some songs are in E flat. So that's some geekiness for the guitar players out there. But if I'm going to play a guitar along to any one of these songs, it's All for the Love of Rock and Roll, because that just really, these might be fighting words, but for me, All for the Love of Rock and Roll is one of those encapsulating KISS songs, if I can be as bold to say that. I think it makes me feel like I'm listening to KISS. Whereas whereas Paralyzed could be kind of any band. You wouldn't really associate Paralyzed with KISS. Now, I love Paralyzed, but absolutely my pick is All for the Love of Rock and Roll.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being a fun song to play guitar along to and everything, and I could see it being a fun song to play. So yeah, I understand that. All right, so that's 9-1 to this point. At this point, so that brings us to track number 11. I Just Wanna, up against Take Me Down Below.
Yeah, absolutely, no question. I Just Wanna is going to get picked.
Okay, I predicted I Just Wanna as well. With 14 points, Take Me Down Below came in second. 42 points. The winner of the track, I Just Wanna. My personal pick, I Just Wanna. I Just Wanna is one of those songs that it's Paul. Paul is doing his Take It Off. It's the Take It Off part 2. But I just love the way it just starts off with Paul singing. I got a body bit for sin and an appetite for passion. And it kicks in. I love that. And I Just Wanna is, I think the chorus is kind of, I don't like the hook. I mean, I like the I don't want to romance. I don't want to dance. I just want to forget you. I love that part. But the whole I just want to fuck. I just want to fuck. I hate that part. I hate that part. That song came on the other day. Me and my wife were driving down the road, and that song came on, and she's like, "That's the stupidest song." And I'm like, yeah, the title is stupid. She's like, "That song gets on my nerves," and I'm like, I know. But I love I Just Wanna, except for the actual I Just Wanna fuck. I don't like that part of it. But Take Me Down Below, you're talking about forgettable songs earlier. Take Me Down Below is a forgettable song for me. It's like I have to really think about, okay, how's this song go? And the only part I can remember is Take Me Down Below. And I know a lot of people are big fans of Take Me Down Below because of all the tongue-in-cheek and the innuendos and everything that it has that a lot of old school KISS songs had. And that is chock full of them. But I'm just not a fan. So I Just Wanna for me.
Take Me Down Below is one of those songs that, like, the Monster came out when I was 12, as I said, and I loved it then. I loved Take Me Down Below then. I love the whole album, even Right Here, Right Now, the bonus track, just to give that a bit of a... you know what? I think if that was on this list, I think this list would be a whole lot different. But obviously, that's not the conversation. Mm-hmm. I think Take Me Down Below is one of those songs that just... It's cheesy for the sake of being cheesy, but absolutely there is no there's no way that wins. I Just Wanna is the song that I was singing from, you know, early teenager up to now. It's never ever gotten old for me. And that's one of the Kiss songs that, like people say, Come On and Love Me is one that doesn't get old, and they could kind of always play. I Just Wanna is my Come On and Love Me. So my pick is I Just Wanna.
All right. So that brings it 10-1. Going into the last track, we got Car Jam, the instrumental Car Jam 1981 that would eventually turn into Breakout. And the background on that song is it was recorded originally by Ace and Eric. They were jamming. And then during the recording of this album, Bob kind of discovered that old footage, that old audio, and Bruce re-recorded the guitar part and they just overdubbed it with Eric's drums. But you can actually hear this song the way Ace would bring it on, and went to Fraley's Comet, and it's the song Breakout. So you got Car Jam 1981 against Last Chance.
Well, my prediction is Car Jam. I think that people are going to pick Car Jam just for the aspect of Eric Carr, and it's in memory of him. And Last Chance is a complete forgettable song off Monster, even though I like it. I think it's a definite forgettable song. Absolutely Last Chance, or absolutely Car Jam is going to get picked.
Okay. Well, I predict Car Jam as well. And you know, it's Eric. Let's see, what the panel did is they chose, this was actually close. There was only 2-point separation. It was the closest. Last Chance came in at 27 points, came in second. 29 points, Car Jam 1981. And that really surprised me. I predicted Car Jam to win, but I thought that it might lose because it's an instrumental. And but I think it was going to win also at the same time because it's Eric Carr. And as I said earlier, this is the song that they put together and put on here. And I think they put it on here mostly because of as a tribute. But my pick would be Car Jam 1981, just because to me Last Chance is just it's not that great. Knit and Last Chance, it's one of those that I kind of forget. Some of the songs on Monster kind of mixed together for me. Is this the one that has that that vocalization in it where they go like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you get the feedback from the guitar, which I like.
Yeah. It's not a bad song. There's not a song on the only song on Monster that I really don't care for that I skip is pretty much all for the Love of Rock and Roll. But the rest of them, I don't not like them. So my pick is Car Jam. What about your pick between these two?
So Last Chance versus Car Jam. This is one that I think if there's going to be one song choice that I get ripped apart for in the comment section or on my own channel, this is the one, because I have to go with Last Chance because I'm not too into I'm not too into instrumentals. And I think that I get why they did it. They did it in memory of Eric Carr and all of that. But I feel that I think this is going to be a bit of a statement, but I think that this song should be taken off the album even before Every Time I Look at You. I think that it doesn't really fit. It sounds like something that they're tinkering with, and it's not a song, which is exactly what it is. I think if you removed it from the album, you wouldn't really notice. Obviously, putting aside the idea of remembering Eric Carr, just as an album, I don't think you would really notice if you took it off the album. And in fact, I would go as far as saying I think it would make the album stronger, because that's where I take off the needle. Just when the second last song ends on Revenge, that's Revenge over for me. Mm-hmm. I like Car Jam, but I think, you know what, I think Car Jam would have worked better on the box set thing in 2001 or Kiss 40. Put it on one of those, but not a studio album. You know what I mean? That's my take. So Last Chance, it's not a strong song. Don't get me wrong. I like the song, but it's very forgetful. It's extremely forgetful. It has an almost AC/DC kind of sound to it, and I do like it. If that was any other Monster song, I would have picked it. And that's probably my statement that's going to get me booted off the channel now. You'll see the stick coming through and pulling me out. Yeah.
All right, so that's it for all of it, and that finishes up with Revenge landsliding. Revenge scoring 11 points and Monster scoring 1 point. Monster the only win with Freak against Tough Love at track 3. So, what about favorite album covers? I figured this would be very, very controversial as well because a lot of people don't really like this album cover, and a lot of people don't really like this album cover. So what is your favorite album cover between the two of these?
Well, I don't really know why that is. And if I can go into detail, I would say that if I'm gonna pick any KISS album cover that I don't like, immediately my mind jumps to The Elder. And I like The Elder, but I just think it's a weird, weak album cover for the album that it actually is. It kicks ass. I love The Elder, but I think they could have made it look a bit cooler. Revenge, I don't know why people don't like that album cover. That is exactly like give me what I'm gonna get. If you look at the Revenge album cover, that's exactly what you're gonna hear. Is how I see it. I love that there's no band on it. I love that it's just KISS, and you have that cool grayish kind of look about it. And Revenge is in the blood splatter. Yeah, it just looks awesome. You know what you're in for. That's Revenge. That's cool. I have no idea why people don't like the Monster album cover. And like that's a cool shot of the band. They say that Gene is turned to the side. Why is Gene turned to the side? He should be facing the camera. It's a band shot, and it's just a time period of that band. I don't get why a lot of people would prefer a kind of graphic illustration of the band. I think that's as well what you're going to get. You almost have the background almost is it's a kind of similar thing to Revenge. If you look at the background of Monster and then look at the background of Revenge, it has that kind of vibe to it, if you can kind of get what I mean by that. So you do know what you're in for with the album. I love both covers. Monster is my favorite album cover.
Yeah. I admit this is a good shot. What I like about this is the KISS is kind of it's riveted, and it's like it's on stone. I kind of like that it's behind the band rather than the band being like right out in front of it. I know that one of the things that it got picked apart for was the fact that on Eric's costume, he has the picture of the Catman that is on the cover of Rock and Roll Over. And a lot of it, that pissed a lot of old schoolers off.
Which I get.
But you know, I've never really been, I don't like the logo of Monster because it reminds me too much of the Monster energy drink.
I think it's extremely similar, yeah.
But now, having said all that, my favorite album cover between the two of these is this one, because this one is, sometimes I think KISS needs to be KISS without being KISS. And to me, this is KISS being KISS. But I do love that shot. I like how Paul is climbing over Gene, and Gene's turned sideways and got his tongue out and doing the Gene thing. And Paul's climbing over and reaching out to the fans. You know, those two are being who they are. These two are being who they're told to be.
I think Eric looks really cool on that.
Yeah. But this, you know, with the metal, with the riveted together and the bullet holes and the Revenge looking like it's written in blood. And to me, that's a metal cover to me. You know, just the band does not have to be on the cover of the album. A lot of people, they get that KISS is so visual, they should be on every cover of the album. And I don't sit in that camp. I don't agree with that. I don't think that they, and, you know, and not only did they give you this on the album, like I said, they gave you this amazing shot of them on the back,
That's a
and
great shot.
it gave you, and they gave you this awesome shot of them in the middle. So to me, this whole packaging to me is just better. So and they even on the CD, they even keep that whole vibe going with Kiss and Revenge. They keep that whole vibe going with it being written the way it is. So so yeah, for me, my pick is that one. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do next. Doing something a little different next. It's not going to be a track versus track. It is going to be let's put this in order of how you like it the best. Kind of like a panel has spoken for how you, whenever you go on the Survey Monkey, whenever you're picking your tracks on an album, not a track versus track, but on an album, you drag them into the order that you like them, from your most favorites at the top and your least favorites at the bottom. We're going to be doing that, except we're going to be doing it with not the entire, but 33 albums that I chose. So you're going to put these 33 albums, and I'm going to probably make a video about this whenever I post it. Whenever I post the Survey Monkey, I'll probably put out a little short 1 minute long video for you to watch. But you're going to put these albums in order of your favorite to least favorite. And here's what they are. This is a combination of studio, live, and compilation. It is not all inclusive, but it hits what I feel are the major important ones. So here we go. Kiss debut, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, Alive, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, Alive 2, all 4 solo albums individually. Double platinum, Dynasty, Unmasked, The Elder, Killers is included, Creatures, Lick It Up, Asylum, Crazy Nights, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits is included. Hot in the Shade, Revenge, Alive 3, Unplugged, You Wanted the Best is included. Carnival of Souls, Psycho Circus, Alive 4, Symphony, also known as Alive 4, but Alive 4 and Alive 4 Symphony separate. Sonic Boom, Destroyer Resurrected, because it is significantly different than the original Destroyer. Monster, Kiss Rocks Vegas, and Kiss World, put in the order of your favorite to least favorite, and then I will compile them all together, and we will come up with what the panel has decided is the best Kiss album, all the way down to the worst Kiss album. What do you think about that, Glenn?
That's a really cool idea.
Glenn, you think you'd like to come back for that one?
I'd love to come back for that.
All right. So, Glenn, we'll see if they tell you to never have that guy on your channel again. And no, I don't care if they do. I'm still going to bring you back for that one. I'm going to bring you back for that one. I'm going to bring you for another one that we talked about off the air. I'm going to bring you back for that one too. You guys will have to just wait to find out which one that one is. So, Glenn, thank you for taking a couple hours out of your Sunday. It's late there. It's like 7 p.m. there, and it's like 2 in the afternoon here. And Glenn's in Ireland, and I'm on the East Coast on Eastern time. And Tales of a KISS Geek. As soon as you finish watching this video, look for Tales of a KISS Geek. I'm going to put a link to his channel at the very end of this video. So whenever it's playing out and you get hey, watch this video, you'll see the link to my channel and you'll see the link to Glenn's channel. So you can click on that, go over there, give him a subscribe, hit his notification button, give him a thumbs up, watch some of his videos, really cool videos. I really enjoy watching your videos. I hadn't got through all of them yet, but I'm working on getting through all of them. I've been watching the more recent ones, and I've been going back and watching. I've been watching the older ones too. So definitely thank you for your time today, and I had a good time. Even though we don't see eye to eye on everything, we still respect each other, and we're still, at the end of the day, we're all KISS fans.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. Like, thanks very much for having me on. I am a fan of you for the last few years now. You know, like, we all love the same band. At the end of the day, you'll have bigger problems in life than to argue over full guys wearing makeup, you know? So thanks very much for having me on the channel. I hope to be back. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely have you back. And And I like showing whenever I got new merchandise, and I did get new merchandise. This is a new shirt. You haven't seen it all yet, but this is a new shirt. I just picked this up when I was out of town in Tennessee for a Challenger car show, and I got another KISS Cola it's in the other room, so I'll show that off in one of my other videos. But I got this shirt. My wife found this shirt, and check this out. This is a cool shirt.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yep.
That's so cool. I love how you have the faces as well from that time period.
Yeah, so that's
it's funny that you have that, because that's above my head right now. I don't know if you can pick that up.
That's awesome. Yep. So yeah, so there's my recent pickup as far as the shirt goes. And so yeah, that's I just noticed through the whole video that it's just only been showing the KISS part at the top, and I didn't know if this little part here had kind of snuck into the picture, so I figured I'd show the rest of it off there as well. So that's all I've got for this one, Glenn. Thank you again. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to click subscribe, click thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, troll. It doesn't matter. YouTube just sees it as an impression, and it just puts my videos out there for more people to see. So just interact however you want to interact. If you agree with us, if you don't agree with us, if you agree with Glenn, if you don't agree with him, put it down in the comments for us to see. And we'll catch you all on the next one. It's going to be fun doing this here. Be on the lookout for this to be coming up out on my social media. The listing of all of the KISS, not all of them, but 33 KISS albums that I think are the most significant, and put them in the order that you want to put them in. Get in on that panel. All right, that's all I got. Glenn, pleasure as always.
Thanks very much, Brad.
And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.